have something on your head.
I believe they refer to that as a smiley face.
Sunscreen. It's something we should all be more than a little familiar with. Whether sprayed from a can or a cream rubbed all over, this summertime skincare product is vital for protecting your skin from burns, premature wrinkles, sun damage, and even skin cancer. It has existed for centuries, dating all the way back to ancient Egypt, when they would use extracts from jasmine as a way to shield their skin from the sun. However, picking the sunscreen that's right for you is a lot harder than it should be. Recently, the safety of your average chemical sunscreen has been called into question, so sit right there as we at the Vitamart education team count down the top 5 life-changing reasons why you should swap out your daily sunscreen.
Why would I do that?
More than a little skin deep.
That's deep.
Synthetic sunscreen was invented in the 1920s by French chemist Eugene Schuller, the man who would go on to create the company L'Oreal. At the time, this was considered pretty revolutionary. However, because this everyday product was created so long ago, it didn't have to undergo the same safety testings that most products do to get on store shelves. And because of this, we may have ended up missing a few things.
We didn't miss it! We didn't miss it!
Only as recently as 2019 have we really begun to look into the potentially toxic effects of everyday chemical sunscreen. A recent study showed that mere hours after application, the sunscreen can seep under your skin and get into your bloodstream. The active ingredients in these chemical sunscreens are the cause for concern, specifically oxybenzone, as testing has shown that they can cause a whole slew of issues, like creating hormonal imbalances or even causing reproduction problems.
This sunscreen made women want me, but it also made me impotent!
There is an alternative.
What alternative?
No, we're not talking about some DIY recipe. There are plenty of natural, mineral-based sunscreens, or sunblocks as they're more commonly referred to. Rather than being absorbed into the skin, they simply sit on top of it until they're washed away. This sunblock usually only has 2 active ingredients, opposed to the whole slew of ingredients and additives that its spray-on counterpart has. These ingredients are zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, which are used in sunblocks like Badger Clear Zinc Sunscreen Cream.
Yo, man! What up? Badger?
These minerals can already be found inside of the human body, so there's little cause for concern for simply rubbing it on your skin. However, we at Vitamart suggest that you try and avoid the nanoparticle version of these sunblocks if you can help it, as they can seep their way into your skin. While harmless to you, the real issue is the damage these nanoparticles can do to marine life, meaning that sunblocks like Derma E's non-nano zinc mineral sunscreen would do the job nicely.
You're the man for the job.
There is a big difference.
How big?
Huge!
With different active ingredients in both sunblocks and sunscreens, you're probably asking yourself, what is the difference between these two products? And more importantly, just why should I care? The big difference is how they reflect UV rays. Chemical sunscreens absorb UV rays like a sponge, sucking them all up before they can make contact with your skin. Meanwhile, mineral-based sunblock acts more like a shield, reflecting the UV rays off of it and scattering them away. However, that's not the only benefit.
But wait! There's more!
UV rays come in 3 different types: UVA, UVB, and UVC. UVB is the UV ray that causes things like sunburns and skin cancer. So it's a priority for nearly all sunscreen manufacturers to block out this nasty ultraviolet ray. However, unless your chemical sunscreen says broad spectrum, you're not protected from its older brother, UVA, which causes things like premature aging and sun damage. Fortunately, every mineral-based sunblock made with zinc oxide protects you from UVA, meaning that you can hold off on searching for that fountain of youth a little bit longer. Oh, and UVC? That's not something you really need to worry about. That one doesn't ever get past the planet's atmosphere, so unless you're planning on going to space anytime soon, you won't be needing sunscreens to protect against that.
One place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Synthetics are bad for those with sensitive skin or clothes.
Drop and give me 20, you insensitive dog turd!
Those with sensitive skin have definitely had some problems with irritation from sunscreen. Or if you're the type of person who sweats a lot and gets sunscreen in your eyes, you're familiar with a feeling similar to that of being lightly pepper sprayed every 5 seconds. A common solution that many people try is buying organic sunscreens, but they find that it makes little to no difference when it comes to irritation. This is because it's actually not the mineral-based sunscreen that you'd expect, but instead the same chemical-based formula with removed ingredients that get them to be officially classified as organic. Fortunately, it seems that mineral-based sunblocks are a lot less harsh on both your skin and your eyes. Those who have switched to them have reported a lot less stinging when it gets into their eyes. It's also worth noting that if you're the type of person who wears sensitive, easily stained clothes, it is significantly easier to wash out mineral sunblock stains than the oily, chemically sunscreen stains left on your collar after a long day outside. And we all know that a shirt that's been ruined for a day is much better than a shirt that's been ruined for life.
Oh my god! Permanent damage!
A toxic disaster.
Is it our fault?
Is it because we were bad?
It is directly your fault.
Turns out a lot of ingredients in synthetic sunscreens is a lot like a bad ex. Pretty toxic. And just like those toxic people, you should cut these nasty ingredients out of your life. Even though you might not see it listed on the back of a bottle, wearing sunscreen might just coat your body in a dangerous cancer-causing chemical known as formaldehyde. How can they get away with not putting it on the bottle, you may ask? Well, that's because it's not actually in the bottle. Instead, the preservatives in most sunscreen bottles break down and release formaldehyde all over your skin. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's the chemical they use to preserve dead bodies. And if you ask us, it should probably stick to that. Besides this, there's a whole bunch of other 6-syllable ingredients that the average person would have no idea how to even begin to pronounce.
Oh, how easy is that to say? B-O-T... No, forgotten it already.
With a whole slew of nasty effects to go along with it, like negatively affecting your brain with neurotoxins, making it easier for chemicals to get into your skin, increasing the amount of free radicals on your body, building up in your pores and blood faster than your body can get rid of it. On top of this, increasing the risk of breast cancer in both men and women. Despite these effects, it's still less risky than unprotected exposure to the sun. But it's definitely the more dangerous of two very similar products.
What did we learn, Palmer? I guess we learned not to do it again.
Yes, sir.
How about you? Do you have any alternatives that you use to synthetic sunscreen? Comment them down below. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, like this video, and if you're looking for some good deals on mineral-based sunblock, check us out online at Vitamart.ca.